Nisa ang bolo binakatalamayan daw siya manadaba kinaloka ti kumain na itong drone ni Papa ni Mona liba-liba ni Bola Mata. Bakatalangaki na YouTube sa singaruti ko na nito sabi siya matipatiti ko na ruwa na tawa tonggo. Meraw ni Roro kinibigyan mo ni nasaraba karong may na bika. Kito daw bulong o di kimunito kina na nondang ngaw na bakaruta ko. Saan ito ganun yung bulong-bulong binakatsiko? Sa bakarong may tapatal subikan na madong ko sa kabitsong ni Siga Bakarubuka. Kito bulong-bulong binakatsiko na nanunin daw ni Bingarabi. Yan na rakyo kalandi bulong malay niling lebuleg. Junior taman yaw na naman ni tamatap sa Lomerambo. Kanita gining karabi binakasara chunga manitabi yan na loma ni madongo. Ka sa oni baka numital chunga ni. Weke muni na sembera chunga ni siyama na seta pa binakachunga may na nitundro ni Papa. Oni na ron ni sarabi kito karungo di kito na live stream platform. Yan na itundro ni Papa ni Mona liba-liba yan na Bola Mata. Sa ating kabuta lang na bukil ulasawati. Sa araw ni sarabi kito talaga yan na nito YouTube channel. Sana pagkarorota ka sara nanonood do birong din domo kabing bulungodi karota lang abi kimuni muni nandreta so na tikini nito talano ni binakata menomuni en ruo na tabata ni bingarabi yung gori ka binakasara bagale na bikache kita sara ni sa ito ko nito kina kimuni na bako tito kumina nomuni nanuma ke so na ka ni nanuma me pag binakataki ni alololoma ni alo binaka ni bako tamay na yalo ngalala balita nangan rebi menda virungo din domota kana kena dong karabi so ni tabi bagongo menda sole bata meron ni baka pinakatay chunga kina ni baka tangin ngende ni non da be imbulungo di usan ko tele sa bagarita kan doon tugu-tugu matanin daw buhay na turanga na bunilao Honorable Siromi Turanga ni nona nanuma ena nona pakandikyava kabagarita tiko baka matelalai ngada ni kena tango maginalaw may biti ni sa siyang so ti saritiko ni tanggong ko binaka ka maudo ko na binaka na ingu ni matanitu kena linga VOQA ni enondo numero sole baka na itabile bungo kena sangay me maroroi ka tango maki na lawan ni nondo banua.
Later on, when you hear people who've been arrested for drugs and later released, of course that's serious. And in one of my remarks early this year to the seaports, when I was quite shocked when we learned that the mechanism within the law enforcement agencies are no longer there. So what is there to police? And that's what they put into place. You know, it's very sensitive information about drugs. We have a unit in the police. World over, this not exclusive to the world over, there is this thing that the sensitivity of this information. Sometimes it's difficult for them to share the information, and you only come to light now what has been going on all these years, because I think, to be fair and honest, there was no concrete action by the previous government to address this, particularly from its own agency, the law enforcement agency. And that's why we are in this mess, may I say.
Kuria na turang na bunilao Honorable Siromi Turanga kakaya ni na zakadaka ni kiana sangay me maroroi ka tango magipagabina kanalawa kasalore ni sa didiletiko ya sa tigbusir tinga ena ulu ni belutaki ena vei tambana ni matenitu eso kandondo no me todo ko mai kina na kiana bonati meron ni garabi babinaka me maroroi kina na non rambulan na leone bunua me tango magipagabina na lawa kame garoni me maroroi sar kapag muri bagabinaka.
No, it's mind-boggling when you hear information. I visited one of the government agency that looks healthcare, public service, public health, and the officer advised me as to their clients who come in, give information, and who sells drugs to them, and they say from the one on the seat to the very one on top. I would like to know who is one on the top. But when they say that, that means it's someone who has authority and control. That's my first conversation I would like to have because of confidentiality issue. But I just want to know, and I know we are really in a big mess. The schools, we talk about drugs, it's in the schools. When you talk about AIDS, we're talking about the youngest as 10 years old. The unconfirmed numbers of the last 3 months of AIDS is almost more than half of the whole of last year. Why it has spiked? Because of drugs. That's why it's important for the media to reach out to the faith-based organization, to the Vanua. The Ra province 2 weeks ago have declared that a strategy to combat drugs. But then it has to trickle down from the Vanua province to the Tikina, to the district, to the village, and it goes to the village. And I think that's where you have a role to play.
Erto sa ulu wata na tambane ni mate bolewai. Ena mate ni to viti, Amerika, Australia, ke New Zealand. Ena kia na sangai merto soleva kana daga lebu, ne kia na yandrave na yala ni nonda bunua mai viti. Evo sibi ni sa mbasi ketega ni baga sori viti, na weni mate nganga ni bebaga mate ni takia so. Esa rombota na vesa iburubura.
But it's also just great to work with a friend and a partner nation that are just so welcoming. We've had such a welcoming, amazing time here in Fiji. My ship Tamar was back here at Christmas, had a fantastic time, and now we're here with our New Zealand friends and the boarding team, and then the Fijian Navy as well, and being able to work together to do what we can to assist in that collaborative effort. And it was a joint patrol with a Fijian Navy ship, Savanaka, and to work with them was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, we achieved the aim, and very much looking forward to carrying that on as we move forward to do what we can to help Fiji.
Iera siya nga lu na daw boleh tuku-tuku, kaya na daw baga sokumuni tuku-tuku, kaya na daw tambay tuku-tuku may viti. Kaya na nonra baga rita katalitunga na nonra nanuma. Ni siyang ni raw ni tutu nga erambamba siya baga sauri na vei ni mate na vei ni mate nga lilebo baga so. Kasa rambuti viti tu kaya nangaw na inday. Kaya nandun na punua ay tigibu may kina. Karena numa ni nandun may baga sangkarimanda. Siya tigibu saramanda baga na kaya na budini. Baga bulan-bulataki. Nanon ang basikani, nanon da matabur sa rombota, nanon da korkoro, nanon da benua, kasatara, nanon da bulan lubenda.
We've been given a scenario that marijuana was the big drug. Until this year in January, when we had that Lenga raid, which amounted to what? I think over $2 billion, 4.1 tons. It showed something. It showed. It reflects something. It reflects the fact that this thing has been around for some time. It didn't just pop out of the woodworks and just came this year. It has happened for some time, and I think it's our responsibility as media organizations to highlight this. But it's also the government's responsibility to make sure that measures are put in place, processes are put in place. And one of the things that we have also been highlighting is, as the Attorney General has mentioned, is the need for us to have rehabilitation centers. We feel that rehabilitation centers are critically important. Why they're important? Because of the percentage of people who may become addicts over the next few years. And if you read through about meth addiction, ice addiction, it's pretty difficult to get out of. It's going to take experts to actually get people weaned of these drugs.
Kuria na nona bagatutu o Fred Wesley may na Fiji Times ka kainaka ni KEI VITI kilai ni ra ulu bata na kiana sangay me bagatitei bagatandon ne viti. Na vei ni matanganga ni baga mateni tageso sa rombota no na bunu na ngonongo ye merba sangarima da merkilai kamera bang kaimanda ibina bunu era tikukina sa tigubu sarmanda bagaba na kiana budini na inaki na kyongo kasa ando na itavile bugi na matini tumai bita ni kena sangai metangavi kayan ravi.
So one of the things that we've been promoting, pushing for is the need for us to have rehabilitation centers. But I think it's important that the government sits up and takes notice as well now. If this was happening a while ago, who should be held accountable for the fact that nothing was known? And I think it's, again, imperative on all of us as media practitioners to continue harping on about this. We may not be we may not be the solution where we are able to stop it, but we can be a solution in the sense that we are pushing for rehabilitation center and making, allowing, empowering people to get out of addiction, which is, I feel, one of the biggest problems that we're facing in our country and one of the biggest problems we will face in years to come.
Esa na siyang ni raon ni na nakitaka ni sa KEI VITI tiko na rebu-rebu ni nraki besau ke na tumbu tiko ni baka tangin gindi ni wai ya baka buli-bulita na nonda puno may biti. Arto bukan dina taka tiko na koro may butia na budong-budong na tembara ni ang goyen doon na ka sa dambetay ni baka sauri na nonda matabura kasa tiko bu may pakalangga na nonda rambula ni besinga.
As you see the whereabouts we're standing. Before when there is a high tide, the water doesn't come in. I mean the sea water. But now, like every month, we have water rise, and most of the land in our area covered with water. Like if we have a high tide, a very high tide, these places will be all covered with salt water, and that shows to us, even before any cyclone comes in, we'll have to be very, we'll have to take actions prior to any of these changes or climate change happens to us. Yeah. Not only that, but it has comes into where we do our planting, and not only in our planting area. We have the water, the landslide, what you call this, erosions that are accompanying with this climate change, and there's quite big changes in the how our villages look before for the last 30 to 40 years or 50 years till today. It's really affecting us. It's really affecting us. Definitely, we have taken up our plight to the district level, up to the provincial level, right up to our commissioner, central, and even our PA, and we've been addressing, and we hope that they will come in to assist us in terms of putting up a sea wall. If you see, there's a small river going in front of our. And those rivers has a great impact on us.
Kinanonday tukutukunin kita na kami ni singa VAKARAUBUKA denday. Hindi na ni isang asar ni Levo may bitir sa VAKAMURIETIKO. Kara siyang gito tagatikumba ka indo ng gito buongo. Yerito kay naka na touch rugby Fiji. Ni ingo indo na soba ni budin-budini. Indo doon may vaka nito ka bawinak. Ba't ni sa bolo ray talatong nga na mawen rito. Ano nanda puno may biti.
We've been around for quite a while. It's a minor sport. That's why probably a lot of people don't know about touch rugby. But we've got a few people that's gone up to represent Fiji in rugby, and namely one is Enele Malele, who's currently the Suvo captain. And he started off with touch rugby. He actually won 1 gold at the South Pacific Games in 2007 as a 17-year-old boy at Suvo Grammar School. So we've got young talent coming through, and this talent needs to be seen, and that's the whole reason why we're here, and trying to see that our boys get a good platform to showcase their talent, not only here but at the World Cup as well.
Sa iko ang gore ni paglalaki na nonday tukutugo na kami ni singa VAKARAUBUKA denday na katil kabito ni singa ni Bulome ni bagirunon doluros ang bulkaba no itaki ni ko ni Marautaka Talitaka. Kamba upo kumuria tumai. Eveda na itukutuku kito waka soku muna toko mai beke muni merao ni ulu toka ni nota bimbulongo dena kabani singa dendai. Nimbera ni nta bakaru sarabai ni vida na itu itubutu bakaru taki. Me tiki toka ni nota bitala no na kabani singa ni kuwa. Eno nota ngona bata. Mai na ONO kina WALU ena no munisite se ni nuitaki na VOQA KEI VITI Aotearoa.
Automika meuauda Enai katini kawani o nosi Wasai bandu atonu Choka pedi wanga Sinuvada korolo mai viti No muvaka iu esuretia Peundo moniko Kina kena mangi Tori na kena salu Maratunga Ngomi kulei Kosue gundi nanga Marabu na poso Nindu wangana wakananangu Ndau kele na wanga na toma Sengana ke na ua Dede muya kono Rotini ni alobi naka Nanumira na vei wekani Nomundangu yala yala Imbuki na kena mangi Tori na kena salu Marutuna Nukobi kulei Kosue gundi nanga na kena mangi Dori na kena salu Marutunga Kobi kulei Kosue gundi nanga Kobi kulei Kosue gundi nanga Kobi kulei Kosue gundi nanga
Nuita kini kuni maru takani tal ni sero ni rongodatiko. Abu sibin na ibagalela kani tukutuk. Oni rongodatiku ni sember na sero ya. Iya santan na anjawa pasarman ni mata ini nondai talano na kabini singa warumbu kan dindai. Nekiana vulidi ka pangkang katota kina bosa pagabiti. Ongo endo na ibu ni takataka. Ebagai tabi taki ko to kina na mata bubali to KEI VITI. Kema misama itu kaya Aotearoa New Zealand. Wakaki na tamaki makauro kalandi kasanga walangan yo kimami wakaki no ira talanga na weka kimami rutuike mena yatu yanu mena be wasa Pasifika me wakata kira na wakanda mai tonga mai Samoa mena yatu kuka mai rutuma wakamanga kina na madongo ni madao tu kina pangana numitiko na madao ni bosa wakarutuma beira na wakanda mai rutuma kimami sama imbula be duruma kita le chukangai ni tamaki makauro kalandi ya Aotearoa New Zealand. Yang nampak sawa ti kita umbu kalau nggak tanah VOQA KEI VITI Aotearoa kita lagi pemuriti ko endon kelas ini buli bosa VOQA VITI. may navuli ko kay Okalandi. Rabi dur magitoka kina na leo ni kalasi. Era toko ira rangone sara katoka so era sa motua sara. Ka tali ni darete tu ni ndine ni duindu itu kono non rembaki. Ia na inaki pati ni non rangolia ni non sanga meraro ni rabola vosa taka kambau kila mananga na vosa VOQA KEI VITI. Tiko kina na kian raisiama kina non da bonondina mai viti.
Yeah, would you want to explain the whole purpose behind the workshop of Fijian language that's been going on here in Orewa, I believe, for the past, is it 2 months?
Yes. So my name is Lamba Hennings, and it was through my daughter, Joyous Hennings, that this workshop has come about. So Joyous built an interest in learning the Fijian language from a very young age. I believe it was pre-COVID. She accompanied me to do Fijian language classes up at VAKARAUBUKA. This was during Fijian Language Week. And from there, she always wanted to know. So a few years back, my daughter was unwell, and she, through the Child Cancer Foundation, she had put in an interest that she wanted to learn the Fijian language. So the Child Cancer Foundation have actually supported her through this, and they have funded, they have given some funding on this language classes for Joyous. So this is how this language class has started, and then through contacting our Fijian people in the community, I've been able to get in touch with KEI Education Trust Aotearoa, and Nomblo Maleni has had put up her hand that she would be very happy to come and facilitate these lessons. So it took about a whole term for us to get everything in motion, and so we've started off, and it's been amazing to see the interest that's here on Hibiscus Coast. So we have a Facebook page called the Hibiscus Coast Fijian Language Class, and we've got all our Fijian families that's here on the coast. They're all on that page. Though we don't have all of them in class, they do know what's going on because we update it weekly, and we put up our videos of what we are doing in class, and it's quite interesting. Not only have we got our Fijians, but we've also got those who have links back to Fiji, families who have adopted other children from other nationalities. They have also been coming to class just to learn the language. So it's been great. Yeah.
If you can recall, how many workshops have you held so far?
I was just looking back in my calendar, and I think we had started back in May, beginning of May. So I would say we've had about, say, 8 classes, including today.
So it's been going on for a while, eh?
Yes. So it's every Wednesday. We've been meeting here in Orewa College at 7 p.m. And we've been getting a good number, between 10 and 15 every week. Yeah.
How do you rate the pace of learning in which the students are picking up with?
The students in the beginning, like everything else, in the beginning the students were very slow and quite confused. But after our first class, they were very interested. They really wanted to know. So the style of learning that we are using here is like a talanoa. So everyday conversations. So what they do is they throw out everyday sentences, and then we write it up on the board, and then we explain to them in Fijian. So in that way, they are able to visualize the words in English and in Fijian. And and we encourage them as well to speak it in class.
I'm also noticing some parents around, and not only children. There are some older members of the classes. There's a girl who's, I think, 39.
Yes.
And there's a lady who's, I think, nearly 60.
Yes. Yes, we have families. So the lady you're talking about, she's the mom of the 39-year-old, and then the 39-year-old has 2 daughters. So we have like a whole family there. That's 3 generations.
3 generations.
There. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting. And then we've got another family there. The mom and then her children and her adopted children have been coming as well. And then my family as well. So a whole lot of families, they're all coming. And it's interesting because even the older ones that haven't learned the language, they are learning as well. Yeah.
I was browsing through your papers. There was some papers that had days, months, years.
That's from the Talanoa sessions that we have. The students themselves, they throw out ideas. Okay, how do you say the months? How do you say the days of the week? So these are like everyday conversations. And if they are speaking to their friends, instead of saying Tuesday, they can say Tusiti, something like that. So that is why you have all those pieces of paper. It's just to help them, yeah.
I believe you guys are taking a break for the next 2 weeks, and then there's another season coming up. What's your plan?
Yes.
On the pipeline?
Yes, we have 2 weeks break, and our next classes start on the 19th of July. That's the first week of term. Next term, we are going to continue on with stringing sentences. We are going to work a lot more on the pronunciations and basically the confidence. The Fijian children tend to shy back. But if you look at all the other, say, for example, Maori, they're very proud to speak their language. So this is what we want to instill in our children as well. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Be proud of speaking your language. So when there is an opportunity to speak your language, speak it.
Any last message to members of the Fijian community out there who have no idea what's going on here, and you'd rather invite to your next season that's coming up?
Oh, yes, for sure. Please do come along. Do come along to our Fijian classes. It's out here in Orewa College every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We have 30 minutes, break time. After that, you can, talanoa, catch up and all that. It's a fun time. It's a fun time for everyone. Adults and children, you're all welcome to come.
And you're learning as well.
And you're learning as well. Yeah.
According to Mrs. Hennings, you guys have had about 8 workshops so far. So how's it been going so far, personally, for you?
Personally, I love it. As an older person, I had to think this is going to be really good for me and for my family to do this, because none of us can speak Fijian. So I've had to adjust to that, but I'm really enjoying it. The classes have brought us together, like the older people and the young kids, so it's really good, and it's a really safe place for us to have a go at speaking Fijian. Yeah, because some of us are really shy. So yeah, it's really good. Now we see each other in passing around Orewa, but now we actually know one another. We come together and share food, speak and listen to one another.
Do you feel comfortable talking about your Fijian lineage?
Sure, yes. Right. Well, okay, so my Fijian lineage has been disrupted, but Colonial Gingiwanga is my dad, yeah. And I have an older brother, Philip, who lives in Purini too. And I have nieces, nephews, and...
I now remember who Colonial Gingiwanga is, because he was a member of the Alliance Party, I believe. He was a minister, member of parliament, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're from Ra?
I am from Ra, Purinitu. However, I was adopted and brought up by a Malangi family. But then I only met Colonial twice. Once he said he'd come to New Zealand to see my brother and I. My brother found me when I was 22. He just stepped up to me and said, I think you're my sister. I've narrowed it down to 2 women and you're one of them. No, that was me. Then we went to meet Colonial at the airport one time, but they wouldn't let him through customs. They kept him in transit. So the doors opened and we waved and the doors shut and that was it. Yeah.
How would you describe the way the basic modules are structured? I've been looking at the papers scattered all over the table. They have names of days, names of months, names of year, basic Fijian words. Does that help in any way of how you slowly develop to learn and to grasp Fijian?
Yeah,
sort of.
I think it does. What our teacher has done is that she's got the words, us to generate the words that we want to know. So we've got those words. She translates them for us. That's below, and then Lemba will write it up for us. So it's like generated from what we think we want to know, and then we keep going over it and repeating it. So it's been really helpful. It's not because it's conversational language that we're learning. We're not learning. We've learned about vowels but not all of that English, or not the syntax. Yeah. So it's been really good.
So you looking forward already to the next season after a 2 weeks break?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's really good. Look forward to Wednesdays. I'm really grateful for Bilal and Lemba, like our 2 main tutors, and then we've got Mary and Ala. They help us, and Gus when he's here. It's when I first heard of the Fijian language classes because of Joyce. She wanted to learn Fijian, but she wanted to learn it with other people.
Your daughter?
No, Joyce is Lemba and Gus Henny's daughter. Yeah. So that's been it. She's created that opportunity for us. So I'm really grateful for it, because now I'm speaking and learning Fijian with my daughter and her 2 daughters. And we sort of try to bring the rest of our family into this. Something to look forward to. Yeah, it's like good company, speaking.
Do you feel at home speaking Fijian?
Yeah, I do.
Amongst Fijians?
Yeah, absolutely. I just have to get over myself and just think, I can do this even though I'm older and younger, but it's really good. I love it.
There's a saying that goes, it's never too late to learn, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm a teacher. I'm a resource teacher for learning and behaviour. So this has been a really good experience for me.
Eye-opening?
Yeah, eye-opening, just to be in that learner position. Yeah, so it's been really good.
You're so used to teaching, now you've been taught.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's right. That's good. I love it.
I believe you have a message for the teachers you wanna share.
Yeah, I'd just like to say Vinaka Vakalevo to Bilal, Lemba, Mary and Ala. Thank you so much for creating the safe space for us to give this a go with one another and breaking down those barriers of shyness. Some of us are really shy and we're getting more confident, which is awesome, because as a teacher I know that goes out to other parts of our lives. So it's been a really good community project. It's just something for us all to look forward to, food and the drink, and yeah, very grateful.
And the fellowship with fellow Fijians.
That's the one, yeah.
Sa tali na rongodetiko kanda sarabetiko na italano ni kana sangaitiko me bulidi na bosa bagabiti. Darai dato kana non rembagini bola na leo ni kalasi erto buli to ko may na buli ko keo kala ndiar visibili busartok. Erto to kono ngone rato kay vida na tina kasato ko sa rendo na kena marama ka toko ni rato ito kaya ni lubiana batike na magumbo na erto ngole ito kaya ni merto lagi buli bosa bagabiti. Darongot talating nga no na ibang mandala na maramatina. VOQA na kena bagungeti mitegebu na kalasi ni buli bosa bagabiti ya na lubya na ngone lewa kasami kadibi no bola na bagisawoti sa tikumay na inagi nagitala ini no to kalasi ni vuli vosa VOQA KEI VITI mai na vuli ko kalandi mai vakanunumi ni dona no na vakanananu na ngone leongo sana doma ngana no de tengo laka ni tanele suma ida na rongo tatalamanda ento na iwasi ni no talanoa ka vangoli tiko vakandua kene kana vakanunumi tiko na madha ni vosa vakorotuma kalandi tamaki makaurau na madha ongo.
Noai Maori, my name is Rachel Mario. Aotearoa, ale tifere ma le alisi, tifere whane pepche ma chuchu, ma alisi hene motusa, harua motusa. To mapiangrua le atarana ma le vorosi, saulei ma pepche ma chuchu whanguta. Thank you. And welcome to all the audience who are watching here today. Rituman Language Week has been a work in progress. We started in 2018 when we had the first Language Week. It was not government funded. We had to fight to where we get to get what we have today. So now it's recognized by government, and so our Rituman people in Aotearoa are very fortunate to be enjoying all the benefits that come with all the different languages throughout the year. So Rituman Language Week kicks off the Pacifica languages for all Pacifica people in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And having said that, as I mentioned earlier, we've had to fight to get what we have today, because initially we come under Fiji, because of course we govern by Fiji. And so when we requested that we have our Rituman language, our identity and our culture is so different from the Fijian culture, and we were told that no, we can't have it, we have to come under Fiji. So I was not happy about that, and so I had to advocate to get what we have. So lots of letter writing, lots of emails to inform, lots of meetings with government departments, ministers, as well as mainly the Minister for Pacific Peoples, the ministry, and still they rejected it. And so in 2019, after the first Rituman Language Week, I made a complaint to Human Rights, and straight away after the next day we got the Rituman Language Week. And that's where we are today. We are happy to be celebrating it. We welcome and invite everyone into this space. We've had, like the sermon today on the wall, it had love, joy and peace, and I feel that this whole week has been a lot of aroha, a lot of love shown to us and our people. We've had a lot of joy. We've met lots of people throughout this whole week from different denominations, different races, different ethnic groups and different organizations. So Rituman Language Week is about sharing our culture to the people in Aotearoa. It's not only about Rituman people, it's about sharing and networking so that people understand who we are, where we come from, and what we here in Aotearoa and how we can contribute to our economy. Having the whanau hub as the whanau Community Trust is one of our partners, so we kind of we are the Auckland Rituman Group, so we are the founding people that have started this Rituman Language Week, and throughout we have lots of programs throughout that. We have the Rituman language classes. We have the culture classes,
senior citizens
lunches,
health
programs, educational. We have maths literacy classes. We have housing workshops. So we have many things happening at our whanau hub.
How do you intend to develop this whanau community hub to probably become a place where people come to, say, in the next 5 to 6 years? And at the moment, I mean, you started like way back in 2019, and just by looking at what has been achieved so far, it is only fair to say that you have achieved quite a lot in, say, 3 years. I can only imagine that in the next 5 years' time, it could be a center where people can come to. So is there a message out there for Rotuman families, probably not only for Rotuman families, for other ethnicities who probably have nowhere to go to and probably can come over to the hub for just a sit down and just a dialogue?
What we are quite interested in at the moment and moving forward is actually having our own Rutuman library. It's actually our languages center where we intend to get a lot more books written. Last year during Rutuman Language Week, we launched 2 books that were written by Mrs. Choche Fochoki, and so we intend to expand on that. So I believe there's quite a few books out there, but what we want for our language to for our kids to learn our language and have an identity here, we need to have our books out there in the library so the kids can borrow it. In terms of what my vision is for the next 5 years, I actually hope that we will continuously have these Rutuman language classes, have an organization, a big organization where we can employ people and run it like a proper organization, so we're able to mentor, also help people. There's a lot of problems in our community, uplift and empower them. There's a lot of mental illness, there's a lot of suicides amongst not just amongst our Rutuman people, but amongst the Fiji community at large. So that's one thing that we were interested in doing, a lot of social work, social services. We want to be able to offer that, where at the moment a lot of our Fiji people are going to they've been referred to other organizations. There's no real Fiji organization or Rutuman organization to help our people in Aotearoa, and I believe that we're about 150,000 in Aotearoa because of 50,000 migrated since 2016 coup. 2006 coup, and there's a lot. So if you expand that, we've had kids and our kids have had kids, so you know that's why we're saying the figures are about 150,000. So the stats that hopefully is going to come out shortly will show that we are a lot more than what the government thinks that we are. So in New Zealand the structure is such that if you have so many people, only so much is allocated, funding is allocated to you. So I advise all the Fiji people, and Rutumans especially, be proud of who you are. And if you do get the census form, fill it out and tick it so that you get identified and you get counted. Because the government funding is based on how many people you are here in Aotearoa.
Just a last word to other Rutuman families out there who still haven't found their way into the hub.
We have a Rutuman website, is www.rutuma.org. We also are available on mobiles 021 255 9956. We're on Facebook, so you just type Rutuma, the Auckland Rutuman group, you'll find us. But a message for our people is don't actually, if you think that something is right, go for it, because I'm an activist, so if I don't take no for an answer. If someone says to me that I can't do it, I will not sit down and listen to them. I will do my research, and if I think that they are wrong, I will go against the decision and I will advocate for it, like I've done with our Rutuman language and having the language week. And also our Rutuman people really need to be united. But to be united, we tend to have what I call house niggers, and those are the people that really need to take a step back, because house niggers are the problem in today's society. You have people that are trying to advocate to get our people, community as a whole together, and then you have these house niggers who are really cheap to buy, and so if government throws a few dollars at them, they actually tend to go that way. So that's what we currently have in our Rutuman community. We have a few house niggers out there, and those people really need to step back because they're doing more harm to our communities than actually getting our people together. Kia ora, and tēnā koutou katoa. Foiexia, mateo tiu.
Ni arongo da tiko na karua ni non dei talanoa, kena karua ni wasa ni non dei talanoa tu numi tiko kina na wakai kimami na matavuvale na Rutuma sa mai tiko talanga tamaki makaroyo kalandi. Ya Aotearoa ni Zealandia no bugni kana bugni numitiko na madao ni bosa Rutuma na madongo. Kaki me misabanga na matiketiko na matavuvale tu KEI VITI ke me mitiko ngo Aotearoa. Na madao do bugni numikina no bosa VITI. Abola katitiko ni bugni numini non da signi tu bakata ki kwa ni katini ni Okotoba. Non do manda weekend na dengo lagalaka. Ni dele sumai and sana rongo saramanda na itoka ruo ni bagalelaka ni non de tuku na kabini singa bagarumbuka dendai na ikatin kapitu ni singin ni bulome ni bagi runun dolu rosang bul kaba pina balev na nomuni siapa na tava kena loka tiku mai na nontango na bata mai na ono kina walu na bonga KEI VITI AOTEAROA na itu tabatin live stream na Facebook kaba kakina na YouTube. Sai koengo na itoka ruo ni pakalela kan no dai tuku na kabini singa VAKARAUBUKA dai na ikatin kabitu ni singa ni bulome yang baki rono dolu rosanga bul kaba sa pagarita kana nuing kawan na non nuing kawan kena non river bi ka kawai na turanga na bunilawa Attorney General Honorable si Romi Turanga ni sa redo buti matana na ibagan dinadina ni sa siyang suti saritiko ni marro ibinakatiko na non talaw may witi kina kena tangumaki kavuna na kena didila da kitu mai na pe matanggali raw ni basulawa so kasangan revi mena banggang katotaki.
Later on, when you hear people who've been arrested for drugs and later released, of course that's serious. And in one of my remarks early this year to the seaports, when I was quite shocked when we learned that the mechanism within the law enforcement agencies are no longer there. So what is there to police? And that's what they put into place. It's very sensitive information about drugs. We have a unit in the police. World over, this not exclusive to world over, there is this thing that the sensitivity of this information. Sometimes it's difficult for them to share the information, and you only come to light now what has been going on all these years, because I think, to be fair and honest, there was no concrete action by the previous government to address this, particularly from its own agency, the law enforcement agency. And that's why we are in this mess, may I say.
Kuria na turanga na bunilao Honorable Siromi Turanga kakaya ni na zakadaka ni kiana sanga ime maroro ika tango magipagapina kanalawa kasalore ni sa didiletiko ya sa tigbusir tinga ena ulu ni belutaki ena vei tambana ni mateni tueso kandondonu mea todo ko maikina na kiana bonati meron ingarabi babinaka me maroro ikina na nonrambula na lende bunua me tango magipagapina na lawa kame ngaroni me maroro isar kapaga muri bagapinaka.
No, it's mind-boggling when you hear information. I visited one of the government agency that looks healthcare, public service, public health, and the officer advised me as to the clients who come in, give information, and who sells drugs to them, and they say from the one on the seat to the very one on top. I would like to know who is one on the top. But when they say that, that means it's someone who has authority and control. That's my first in conversation I would like to have because of confidentiality issue. But I just want to know, and I know we are really in a big mess. The schools, we talk about drugs, it's in the schools. When you talk about AIDS, we're talking about the youngest as 10 years old. The unconfirmed numbers of the last 3 months of AIDS is almost more than half of the whole of last year. Why it has spiked? Because of drugs. That's why it's important for the media to reach out to the faith-based organization, to the Vanua. The Ra province 2 weeks ago have declared strategy to combat drugs. But then he has to trickle down from the Vanua province to the Tikina, to the district, to the village, and it goes to the village. And I think that's where you have a role to play.
Erto sa uluwatan na tambana ni Mate Bolewai, na Mate ni Viti, Amerika, Australia, ke New Zealand, na kaya na sangay merto soleva ka na lebu, na kaya na yan drive na yala ni nonda bunua may Viti. Ibu sibi ni sa ambasi kita ni baga sori Viti, na weni matanganga ni baga Mate ni takia so, esa rombotan na besa iburubura.
But it's also just great to work with a friend and a partner nation that are just so welcoming. We've had such a welcoming, amazing time here in Fiji. My ship Tamar was back here at Christmas, had a fantastic time, and now we're here with our New Zealand friends and the boarding team, and then the Fijian Navy as well, and being able to work together to do what we can to assist in that collaborative effort. And it was a joint patrol with a Fijian Navy ship, Savanaka, and to work with them was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, we achieved the aim, and very much looking forward to carrying that on as we move forward to do what we can to help Fiji.
Iera siya ni ngalu na daw boleh tukutuku, kaya na daw baka sokumuni tukutuku, kaya na daw tambay tukutuku may Viti, kaya na nonra bagarita katalitunga na nonra nanuma. Ni siya ni raw ni tutunga erambamba siya baka sauri, na vei ni mate na vei wai ni mate nganga lilibu baka so, kasarombuti Viti tu kaya nangaw na inday. Kaya nandun na punua ay tigibu may kina. Karena numa ni nandun may baka sangkarimanda, siya tigibu saramanda baka daba na kaya na budini, baka bulan-bulataki, na nona basikani, na nona matawur, sa rombota na nona korkoro, na nona benua, kasatara na nona bulan lubenda.
We've been given a scenario that marijuana was the big drug. Until this year in January, when we had that Lenga raid, which amounted to what, I think over $2 billion, 4.1 tons. You know, it showed something. It showed, it reflects something. It reflects the fact that you know, this thing has been around for some time. It obviously didn't just pop out of the woodworks and just came this year. It has happened for some time, and I think it's our responsibility as media organizations to highlight this, but it's also the government's responsibility to make sure that measures are put in place, processes are put in place, and one of the things that we have also been highlighting is, as the Attorney General has mentioned, is the need for us to have rehabilitation centers. We feel that rehabilitation centers are critically important. Why they're important? Because of the percentage of people who may become addicts over the next few years. And you know, if you read through about meth addiction, ice addiction, it's pretty difficult to get out of. You know, it's going to take experts to actually get people weaned of these drugs.
Kuria na nona bagatutu o Fred Wesley may na Fiji Times ka kainaka ni kevaka vida kilai ni ra ulubata na kaya nasangay me bagatitei bagatandon ne Viti na be wai ni matanganga ni be baga mateni tageso sa rombota na nonda na bunu na ngonongo ye mera baka sangarimanda mer kilai kamera bang kaimanda ibi na bunu era tikukina sa tigubu saramanda bagadaba na kaya na budini na inaki na kyongo kasa ando na itabile bugi na mateni tumay Viti na kaya nasangay metangavi.
So one of the things that we've been promoting, pushing for, is the need for us to have rehabilitation centers. But I think it's important that the government sits up and takes notice as well now. If this was happening a while ago, who should be held accountable for the fact that nothing was known? And I think it's, again, imperative on all of us as media practitioners to continue harping on about this. We may not be we may not be the solution where we are able to stop it, but we can be a solution in the sense that we are pushing for rehabilitation center and making, you know, empowering people to get out of addiction, which is I feel one of the biggest problems that we're facing in our country, and one of the biggest problems we will face in years to come.
Esa na siyang niraon ni na nakitaka ni sa taray vititiko na rebu-rebu ni Raki Besau kena tumbu tiku ni baka tangen gende ni wai ya baka buli-buli tanah nonta puno mai viti. Artu bukan jina taka tiku na kor mai vutia ena budun-budun na tembara ni anggo en dona ka sa dembeta ni baka sauri na non matawur ka sa tiku bu me baka lengga na non rambula ni besinga.
As you see the whereabouts we're standing before when there is a high tide, the water doesn't come in. I mean the sea water. But now, like every month, we have water rise, and most of the land in our area covered with water. Like if we have a high tide, a very high tide, these places will be all covered with salt water, and that shows to us even before any cyclone comes in, we'll have to be very, we'll have to take actions prior to any of these changes or climate change happens to us. Yeah. Not only that, but it has comes into where we do our planting, and not only in our planting area, we have the water, the landslide, what you call this, erosions that are accompanying with this climate change, and there's quite big changes in the how our villages look before for the last 30 to 40 years or 50 years till today. It's really affecting us. It's really affecting us. Definitely, we have taken up our plight to the district level, up to the provincial level, right up to our commissioner central, and even our PA, and we've been addressing, and we hope that they will come in to assist us in terms of putting up a sea wall. If you see, there's a small river going in front of our. And those rivers has a great impact on us.
Kinanonday tukutukuning gito na kami ni singa VAKARAUBUKA dendai. Endi na ni isang asar ni levo may viter sa vagamurietiko. Kara siyang gito tagatikumba ka indo ng gito buongo. Yerito kay nakana touch rugby Fiji. Ni ingo endo na soba ni budin-budini. Endo doon may vaka nito ka bawinaka. Ba't ni sa bolo ray talatong nga na mawen rito. Eno nanda puno may viti.
We've been around for quite a while. It's a minor sport. That's why probably a lot of people don't know about touch rugby. But we've got a few people that's gone up to represent Fiji in rugby, and namely one is Enele Malele, who's currently the Super captain. And he started off with touch rugby. He actually won 1 gold at the South Pacific Games in 2007 as a 17-year-old boy at Super Grammar School. So we've got young talent coming through, and this talent needs to be seen, and that's the whole reason why we're here, and trying to see that our boys get a good platform to showcase their talent, not only here but at the World Cup as well.
Unia rongo the tiko na itokoro ni pagalelakan non ditukutuko na kami singa VAKARAUBUKA dendai katin kabito ni singa ni bolome ni ambakiruno ndolo rosa ngabul kaba weke muni na sangay siya mga dhaba kaloka tiko may gay roba romay na bimbulongodi enda bimbulongodi tiko kina na kami ni singa dendai ongo na non dango na bata na nito ongo na bata kike muni may no ONO kina WALU ena VOQA KEI VITI AOTEAROA ena rua na nito tabata ni live stream ena nito ndroni piapa ni bolo mata na Facebook VOQA KEI na YouTube channel nindale sumay nandun na dingo lakala kong nandun man nga bikat na share enda na rongo ta sarmanda na ikarua ni wasi-wasi ni Robi talanoa kay waisake sotutu eni talanoa tale ni kiana buroro katumbu nono na rakabi ena bunua New Zealand Aotearoa ka kila ikine burubura may viti o ko endo embo barongoya na eda ni nonta bunua ena buku ni kita rakabi.
toka saranga na utomu Kemuiri raingai musundonu Amerika au sotavi kondia Bakana ula bula bula tamuria Dengatia na tulon muninda musa Toka na muni nga totoka Wai lele na ngilo sibula Wakana tatimivini mo bula bula Ole kasaranga Meunda mondali Inongunda imani Naita mai ngaulo mai viti Kemu indivina lumita tindi Tui nagai bakasakiti Naita ndarwe kambichi Kai nandini kana toki toki Kemu iserra usaru indu moni Nai tutuvini rakitu numaka Kachi wakalua galinji wakava Wai lele angilo sibula Baka nata tindivini vo bula bula Ole kasaranga Eunda mondali Inogunda imani Nandini kana toki toki Temu isera usaru indu moni Nai tutuvini rakitu numaka Kachi wakalua galinji wakava Wai lele nangilo sibula Baka nata timivini vo bula bula Ole kasaranga Leunda mondali Inogunda imani Ole kasaranga Leunda mondali Inogunda imani Ole kasaranga Leunda mondali Inogunda imani
Ena singa wikilulu nda rongo tetiko kina ni mata ini wasa ni robital noa ke waisake sotutu. O waisake sotutu endua nayada enda siang ni bulang ikina beki anda sa pagmure tu main ituku-tuku ni kita raka KEI VITI. Endua nano nang basika ni nano tim ni VITI koto batu tu ni batake ko na kila sa bulida ni nano na mai raka vitu ni nano buno lebu ni Islandi. Pakakina vida na buno na biasa iburbura sala kingito tukina. The move from winger to second 5'8" in center, where you made a name for yourself.
I probably always wanted to play second centre, so it was to me that's where I thought I could play, or that's where I thought I should be. But you know, you're just a player, and a coach has other ideas and where you fit into his big jigsaw. So like for even at school, I played second five. I played a couple of games at first five. I played games at fullback, and it was just doing what was right for the team. And then obviously, playing for Marist, my club. I was currently playing, I think I was playing centre for Auckland, but when I was going back to club, I was playing wing for club. And again, you know, it was just, I didn't care where I was playing, as long as, you know, guys got to play as well. I didn't push other people out of their positions, and you know, you did what was best for the team. If you ask me what position I preferred, I liked wing because I used to play wing as like a roamer. I would just go wherever I wanted, and I sort of had a bit of a free license. I wouldn't park up on the wing and wait for the ball. And so I liked that idea. As a second five or a midfield, I liked it because you got the ball in your hand a lot more and you made decisions and things like that. So, you know, they both have pluses and negatives, I guess.
Just tell us about your days at Auckland. Auckland was at the peak of his game at that time. I think it was NPC.
I go back a few years. So when I was at Wesley, I watched the 1987 World Cup, and you saw the All Blacks win the World Cup at Eden Park, and it was massive. And these guys are like, again, being at Wesley, a rugby nut school, these guys were heroes back then. Grant Fox, Zinzan, Michael Jones was just coming on the scene, the Wetton brothers. You know, these guys were true and, you know, and real heroes of the game. And then when I left school, the first club that I went to was the University Club in Auckland, and I knew that Grant Fox and John Drake and who else was there? Sean Fitzpatrick played for the club. And so we'd done pre-season, we'd gone through pre-season, and we'd, you know, been run off our legs and absolutely shattered. First game of the season comes up, and we're playing out at Waitemata Rugby Club, and we're sitting in the change room, and we're all sitting there, and the jerseys are up on the hooks, and then the door opens up, and then Grant Fox walks in, John Drake walks in, and Sean Fitzpatrick, and I'm sitting in the change room, and I just look towards the door, and I'm like. And like, these are guys that had been heroes, you know, and I'd seen All Blacks on TV, but I'd never been around them. And they walked in and they just walked around, shook your hands and that. And so my first club game in Auckland, I played with Grant Fox, outside Grant Fox and that. And I think, I can't even remember most of the game because I was just looking at him, you know, he was passing me the ball. And like a year before that, I was playing schoolboy rugby. And then back then it was sort of, well, it wasn't common sort of thing. And so I had come straight out of school and I was playing Prem rugby and then outside Grant Fox, so that was a massive buzz for me. And so that was my first sort of like introduction to mixing with these guys. And then I moved to Marist, and Marist, the reason I went to Marist is that there were a lot of boys that I'd played against when I was at school, and they'd played for traditional schools and we'd been quite close. And so I ended up moving to Marist, and I didn't know that playing for the club they had Zinzan Brook, Robin Brook, Bernie McCarhill, Terry Wright, Grant, John Kerwin, and Shane House. So they had masses of All Blacks, you know, Pat Lamb. And then it wasn't until we started getting into the serious part of the season that these guys would come back. And then again, you're mixing shoulders with these guys, playing outside them and playing club games in them. And then you get to Auckland stuff, and you knew the team was an All Black team. You know, when you played with those guys, they lifted you. You just had a confidence to be able to beat anyone. And you know, I remember playing one of our games against North Harbour. Ronnie Clark and myself were in the midfield for Auckland, and we're marking Frank Bunce and Walter Little. And it was a rainy, wet day, and the grounds were covered in mud, and it was a real close game. You know, they were bombing it all day because the grounds were so muddy and the ball was so slippery. And I remember lineouts and scrums. Zinny would be standing at the back of the lineout, and he'd look at over his shoulder at me and Ronnie because we were quite young. And he'd shout out, "Saki, Ronnie, don't miss a tackle." And we were like, you know, there was no way in the world we were going to miss tackles. But that's the power of somebody that you respect, and you know, that you'd do anything for them. And it's like, "Saki, Ronnie, don't miss a tackle." Yeah. So I mean, again, these guys were now current All Blacks and superstars, and again, we're getting to play with them every weekend with Auckland.
Did you ever think of wearing the All Black jersey at one time?
You didn't really think about it. You just played rugby, and then until you started getting a bit of notice, and then it probably starts to come into your thinking. It's like, oh shucks, maybe I do have a chance. So I think it was 1994. I won Player of the Year in New Zealand, and so that was the year before the All Black camp for South Africa. So in the camps leading up to that, I had played a season with a really bad shoulder, and my shoulder would keep dislocating if I caught it in different positions, and so I knew how I would get away with that, and I'd strap it up. And there's actually footage of some of the games where I've got to go to the sideline and I'm getting an injection in it, and then I run back on the field. But I got through that season, and so I think I won the Player of the Year that year, and so there was a lot of talk about me making the All Blacks that year, the year after. So we went to camps and that, and again there was talk about a camp, and then myself and Jonah not doing too well at the camp, and I had the operation on my shoulder, so I was going to have a late start to the year. But anyway, we came through, and we played the All Black trial for that game, and Jonah had an absolute cracker of the game. He was amazing that day. The trial was up in Whangarei, and so he was on the left wing for the black team, and I was on the left wing for the white team. And so he scored a couple of tries, and I think I scored one, and so it was fine. And like in the back of your mind, you were hoping, but I sort of I wasn't that confident. And they named the team, and I don't think I wasn't named, but I heard a rumour that we were in a group that were non-travelling reserves to go. But we were close. I played New Zealand B that year against Canada, and on the tape of the footage that I've given you as well, and that was enjoyable. So yeah, I was thereabouts, but didn't actually go all the way.
What were some of the moments that you would like to remember during your rugby days? Some matches that you want to remember? Some moments that you'll never forget?
I guess, special moments. First game for Auckland. First try for Auckland was we took the shield down to mid-Canterbury, I think. And my first try for Auckland, I think I scored 35 seconds after kickoff. It just happened so quick, and that was a bit of a buzzy time for me. The 50th rugby, the Ranfurly Shield Challenge that we defended it against Otago, that was quite a big moment. And I remember having a parade down Queen Street. Like I would never imagine one happening now, but Queen Street was actually packed when we did it. And you have a look at the crowds now that watch ITM games. It's like, wow, I don't think you'd get away with something like that now. But we played touring teams. We played Ireland. We played Ireland, beat Ireland. We played who else did we play? We played the Lions and beat the Lions. So some great moments. Some massive moments. And times that times I won't forget. We went overseas with Auckland. We went to Argentina. We went to UK. Some great memories. Some awesome people that you played with and met, and guys that that'll be your friends forever. And then guys overseas as well that you'll always stay in touch with.
When Super Franchise started, how did this all change the rugby scenario here? Yeah. And of course all over the world.
When I first started playing for Auckland, it was we train as a team Tuesday, Thursday. You do your own training other days, but when we came in to train, training would start at say 6 o'clock, and it would be finished at 7 o'clock on the dot, 1 hour. That's everything from warm up to finish. And in that time, I still remember it, that you'd come in, get changed, go out for training, bang on the dot 6 start, bang on the dot 7 would be finished, or even earlier, and be walking off, and that was training. Now with professionalism, players have got to be bigger, stronger, faster, fitter, and training is now 5-6 days a week plus recovery sessions, and so you're getting paid to perform. And when you started getting paid, there was obviously more emphasis on you having to be shown to be doing more work and getting your standards of for your body up as well, because everybody else was too. And so training times changed. You were now training 5 days a week, 4 days a week, and trainings you're doing 2 sessions a day. And so it was just more effort and more taxing on the body. I remember our first game against the first Super Tau, and we had never played at 7 o'clock, and it was so weird that you slept in and you had to try and keep yourself busy until kick-off time. And probably the first couple of times we got it wrong. Guys would sleep in, go to lunch, and then go back to bed, and so you get to the game and you're real lethargic. Whereas I think you do it a little bit different now. You make sure the guys are up. You might go for a run around in the morning, and you just keep guys on their feet. And so there's a lot of learnings in those first years. So it was definitely a change of the times for training, and also the effort that you had to put in.
Moving from New Zealand to Fiji, that move that you made, and of course the World Cup tournament that you went to.
I was still playing for Auckland, 96, 97, rugby went professional in 96. It got to end of 97, I had a bit of a bad knee in 96. I got a knee injury, and it was a little bit, it was quite hard to deal with the amount of trainings that we were doing. It just kept blowing up, had to keep getting it drained. And so it started off that somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, look, would you be keen on going to Japan?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, sure, I'd be keen." And then like 2 weeks later, he came back to me, and he said, "This is actually Willie Lose," said, "No, the guy from Japan wants to have a talk to you if you're keen." And so it was like, "Oh shucks, I hadn't really thought of it that much, but yeah, I'll talk to the guy." And so I moved. I had to tell Graham Henry in 87 that I was going to Japan, and he wasn't that happy. And he actually dropped me from the A team to the Bs. But it's a different story anyway.
Ana singa bukelulu ke toa kote ni bikimini ni mata ni wasawasi ni toa laki tava gerto na tim ni viti na under 20. Ena norto yung ngolengoli na soto ni burbura ena beksawoti arto ala ko duruma ki mai kina na rarani wanga buka mayo kalandi. Kitorun bulu vital notu wat kina norto manindia waka kina na kavetani kasando na katali ni dare ni sabang mawetiko na baka toro kita gitu ni rakabi mena nonto buno mai viti. Wiki muni na muri itu kumai na rugby mai non tau ni na reda rau ni na kila o ni na rongoda nanto mona kasara butu kani tamba ni dorobo ko robi tal no itu kani singa bukelulu esa antar makati kani singa leti ni Fijian rua ya na ngau na sarangango iya ndai kita usana kambura katalamanda ni keru ni wasawasi ni to vital no berkerto keru vital no raukina kena ndo na yada e rongo le buka kila italanga mi vitena buturara ni gitu rugby buka kene burbura ifere mi ronga kana ndo to ndau ni biba tabuli di liutiko. Mati ni belum naka. Tung dalan ni pamantala kalaka. Ni kila ni dumay pacindangan yang wini apodo kalanci. Bukan rau baltara cimi, dengan itang nunggu baltara cimi. nyimbar ni drugalan dapat tali dibentar lah.
Ma valeu, mtigat. Tu rapato kana neto maingito nandruan andating mana gulo match neto le sungai kita umbaran kita angol mana kita anjing tak to ke 5,000 karuan extended squad. Belum meni 5,000 karuan extended squad kita potong nama tol sangat me gitu benar dua. Hoje kita mana kita leskina karena boni rosa nabul karuar to terem cina. Mana kita lesan kina le teman Italia ni terem di terem cina mai na bisa senta ni hak performance na tolu na senta bits indar ni voya walu na marau sama tani bana marau kim sangol ke ni suba kim di ralindi cina na di mata bani kim ami misot to vorta tona sona kamera ni kim ami misot babar to menalam ni bana marau ya beran kita kan waktu kapan mana kita sampai mikian bapak. Itu beran kita mikian bapak tu awal talent betul macam gitu. Try temulan wanatan basis join wakir nonton malbits. Mani dona watan ini dona kota ini nonton wanatan ni. Lebih terkesan itu bapak.
Televisão tu nama tu gitu ni bunuh tenda tu cuba bunuh mulut.
Tu lewat, walu tu bayar slice tu bayar straight. Tu ten cina na barang ni na tu mirsadur macam na professional entar. Bakir tu na non da tu cina medits. Sara guru natal cina na professional environment when to have to come and di dalam kasar para dokter mungkin ya Malaysia mabat kertombo kalau ada dokter itu apa
Wala sakto ko yung kalanji parang testale Dubai ne baru hasta so
Tola Alabina cuma di nakali gua bisa kewala-wala bagaimana turi cuma di nakali kan rona boleh
Mau tahu untuk di kuna main union, untuk kuna calls mereka, sudah kawai. Lihat nama itu kita bina kerana ya lihat pasal kau ni waktu dins, namni reda juga mantan na soal-soal kita kamar. Sa kapital cuma mana fijar lagi na. Itu na ibarat tadi bina kan, dari itu kalau serang pasal itu macam mana istri kita bagi itu kita bagi tim kerja itu macam apa rasanya?
Iya. Kalau itu bisa rambai lebu tu kan renangon yang sangat minta tengah biru. Dia makan kita rini torarawa dia sangat gulungan mengon. Nami baru tak kenal loman ni hati pemensi. Tok na free academy, tok na apprentice. Tahu sangat gulu rapat dulu na free academy. Rapi mana bagi membuat cinta itu, cinta kawan. Gokor na loreng nama jana teams ada guru mana apa performance base serta performai mengelar bagi na apprentice sampai katulnya mak sampai cikgu na elite korna elite apa sarang kita tahu na waris tujuh waris kita tahu na so satu sarang craft lagi yang development kan binakan ni performance irana mista kamay na din sir ndong na loray na provincial unit vir ngole mana maina unions, maina vanua competitions, vaduru melama, vir mana skipa. Yon mir vaduru melama na indo vatana na varau na varu.
Umurito ko lele na do tuto yung kamel tim ni Viti sa ron tim ni Wuli kani yung sabon din ako bida erua na mata tuar onde mai klani undo seram no na undo tim kayo kita wal baka tigo ko nang gitu si na kamati balik tilpilo sa ulo Viti wala ko to sa kali luto kali lai yo kila na undo bawaraw misa na rede kita tigo na kaya ay ito bagin baka niya ngona yun sa mundo
iya na John Makak itu sana itu bercerita na SNC coaches meri mata tama baru takinamon balik na nongona baru takinamon na kinumon elevina kan itu vingaraj na coaches kebar satiring takinamon na condition takinamon bertemu SNC coaches na may rara na itu sangat mermui balik na itu wakinamon da sana kuku rawa ni kito moidira ina wambimbi na teknik ni tackle technique skills ke bina kati ke bakai lenga chikana na tuba kinyango malunchi nandendre sar ngana tam challenge le kito na kuku
Hindi dinandangan itu malalaya.
Iyo panakai sangai chungo me kito otuza kata kukuchina development offices nanon dikira ni takina ngasli guli data merin tik besar nama koribun nanon banggara satigo nanon satigo gura garega na competitions in teams wono era lore mikiner nanon na rekoda chima
dando tindak na may lokaci konda kan dono uno binak ditartar saya tahu mana lima matal lagi
malkat dona produk ni malkat no Philip Basela dana gara lure mai se sorte lure mikiala mai no to junior escort shield para do super no sop ke no na teguna baki cinta kawan karena bincangnya mai na sot ni koribun cikutani na kono sot ni portone junior sports mai lokaci to kaya biasa sema ke cikna mai na vanua kitu cikina tiai na lore mikir na ngona sa lore mikir ndon ngoni kana sana tengo londre mai aku komensin ono sana mer mitare ke dikit mitare ka kena tuba kena ngondo katena na libuna ngondong gitu bila karatin
saya libuna ngondong gitu
libuna ngondong erndong gitu ke ya nandindingan ng sara may chikunan par pamer buli kina na ngon par kina na ngon bata kona man ge mindindi kina ko sa tere ni bena ka ke ko
sila ni dando kita tan dulu ko pero sono ndong gitu real ya tane batang itu di berubah na gitu ibu nota ni makari sini perform round ka bombe kana kait ko
dua ni saran gitu bina kamay bici no na ria bikin no sin perform dua na environment deck duru ni na ako komunisyon pero go sara sen wala ng mirtirin tak na to sara tirin tak sana ni ka so ito na life skills tirin tak kala sin kambal ito na ngono merang lactose kino punutan sindona kay kawu
sasangan kawal ngani gitu
sengola kan cosa bambimbita kina non maru labo bambimbita kina kambali chiro ngombo kakana rakan ini liu sembera na buli baya ngona ndaya bukina ni baya liu na kawu nda bata bakira sendo mata mangani ko muda Lako na nakana va vitalia sesang
Sangun tu teri,
sangun teri. Yo menunggu sarkalo ngata nalala.
Mat dersetok nga ba na environment ni gitu, na chimi duko ta chimi. Keneri man dai bu pamit. Nomor itu.
Chimigo kusa varta mai varta guna vida na buno kito rechikina. Kusanga na Radio Australia New.
Ani matin ndu.
Kemudian sangat berkan boleh kita dapat coach kena foods, boleh kena set pieces, itu set piece. Merau kena kena set piece kita mahu gitu boleh. Kita minta kena sama Paul Vivina kemana sekarang main lain out. Kita begitu boleh.
Yang kila tu ni cuma ni mesti sabi nang ngana set piece melu. Tandang kan.
Karena kita nak kita baik cikina, kita sama kita nak bawa kita main hitung cukup boleh kena bulan match. Kita ada kita cikina. Kita beramai nunggu orang cikina pun tanya, karena kita baik cikina kita main non experience. Tapi kena kata tu sakut atau kata cuma saya beli cikina merkau terlebih gitu ngo. So ke Australia. Challenge level cuma na bisa ni tayu ni mereka, tu nak penganyi, tu nak kela cikan kian nasi macam dan macam, tu nak tolong nasi kami tu babarau ni tu radio swam. Dia nak babarau bila nak kaki tu saya cikgu malam ni tu babarau tu katal cina kita sini benar kata kita bangkang nangau me rami malum tak. Fokus sina me kita sama kita bahkan kita gitu kata KEI Australia.
Dulu liu tak kita ni kini bukan ni sangat tercuma apa nanti. Ini bukan masalah. Dalam belakang dingin me liu tak kau yang lain. Berkan mana berkan.
Muckai mari moni walau. Kaya baru tak mana nampak sawit sini balik nampak lo. Projek ni anda 20 nampak sawit kembali nampak. Kadang buat nampak sawit. Untuk kita plan nama development contract dengan dua, cukup baik kaya leadership skills, terus cukup saya misal lantai tangan sama coach nama gitu dia juga ingin, na experience terus saya reduksi, sengat ni kita kan kita dalam begitu nama break, bahkan kita kelas ni saya baru tak mana nampak sawit. Me project ni 20 nampak dia ni levaya nana toso sara dengan dua
desin kurundu
balik ni mone ando barong mone ngacen terreni mone kokoa solibe kwa na ru me na luta kena cinugo balik ni rokobi kwa non dara ragi kwa bataki filu masih lagi, itu mulai.
Saya baru ucap untuk kita menilai cuma dosar gitu pun nilai yang pasti gitu. Selain kami komen dari kendera servis mone, untuk menangani itu betul lebih bandita. Sumpah kriteria orang main, bahkan mau kembali. Nomor tenang dulu kira ini satu kita nak bunuh. Lalu menteri bunuh Aotearoa kita geram menangani itu apa sih? Satu tulir itu.
Vetor ngono ginang ko mono pa binata kana doni ditekan karena kimina non da chiko Aotearoa na bikin sama-sama ni Bakabi VITI kana bilitak kita na bilitak china kan ngolo Cape Town probable na tawale na Vitoko na tawale na solution no kana nanumi chikuna namba na so din sa may vakalike na tawale to reach kumay na bugni kitulang at kumay na camera ni vakalike na nantungon na bugni so sarale lande sara mera lande na KFC itu baru na kanira may vakani so nakakana barutak kakana biro roki na nonda babara bugni na lingit Vaguta chikana pavna vina kali. Masuk tal chikana kalule na sombi chikana na VAKARAUBUKA. Na loma na vival kena ONO kina WALU.
Iya, ena kabinis kantinda ime mai dava tiku ngaki na nonondanguna dana sarabatalma de indua ne wasi. Ini tamba baka suku muni kini talanoa kita utororo toko mai verto na mate timi mena suba grammar school. Na tim ini under 16 kartu sama itiko bolingo ya Aotearoa sai keru tiku ni nono tu madawa. Ertu sa vida wotu mena nono tongito na singabukelu lu enda rongo toto kani talanoa kartu ka vonga tiku kina nanto mondo tu na tina. Kena kasini buli ena kena sanga itu ko membudhi ni kambiu bata ni tubutu ni non ngande mai bukan gitu raga biu ni silandi anda indai santa no ro da manda no mona nan dauni be baka tabulidi baka kina no manindia KEI VITI talen baka virtu ni timi ene kuritu ngani talno ni non to mengi to raga biu ni silandi kasando na kana kena baka dola mate tu virtu no durbo na be kartu milago duru maka donuya ka nutaki ni na baka bure katu kalau mana to nirto ne leso ene non do no KEI VITI yarta no lagi sanga no no tingu merto nangado no no to sasanga ningi to ragabi apa kaki no buli ni roni bukia talanga no bula tordaki tai ngosi ni matiniti mo monroko to may Islandi Dro mamatala mo matani timin roko to na matini ngondong ala makin. Do sama redar rawanan raki ni veituli raki.
Iya.
Ero ni bibu kini kino Aotearoa.
Iya.
Nano kita nongani.
Iya sar.
Bisa berdoro ketek me nambak.
Don matini timi wango kita wala maya wa bibu kita mi be masta falolo ini golong. Nana dro ko sana ngai anto tali takabuli ngako na wale lingi to takatu Islandi. Au krando sa ngole mbeka tala ngamai. Sa gibi na katoko me o sevir na dorbo mer rida. Akini zakata kata tuiki. Agi ngole leso Islandi na mbakya. Agi kira-kira pemikiro ibu mikiro. Kalau menila waktu ngamai ertu na anda 17 na mbakya. Ela kumikina sona vida na yada ngamai to sumina kasar. Tosumina kan Islandi tosumina kami paranisi ndo tsona titong kitu tosoa buchingu otsona sona singa main rebote kitu tsona sambi ngito sa tal tuna ubisa ki sa ubisi ko tumba tsona ange main darana siglesi ni le habitu ni Islandi bon tartana siglesi le habitu ni vici darana siglesi no haba na super rugby ko watana na pakasa maya ko bo pakaturo to ni berna itu tumbu-tumbu na timigo siya bakata banana erna nanto doro era nir sa tali takan jina nang gitu tali takan jina nang gitu karena doro bula bakai bakar rau to karo nikaya sini rongo tanah bos mikira berna tumbu berna doro yang merah mau datang ngan Islandi sa dona tangin dini ibi baka tordek sa edo botu. Iyo, siya nga wala nga nang gitu. Ito tumbatan nga balata na nandun nakaliw na unang na life after rugby. Ito na kaya manggiragay iragay may wait tigir kino na duro. Ni sahot yan ang gitu rakabi.
Kila ni sa docho ba nga ni na pakananan mo. Ichuko nga na rakabi
Iyo.
Kore sir ni chuko ba na daba na yado ni uchi na
rakabi.
Kwe doten to ka kina na idodo ni bengarabi.
Iyo.
Garabir kina na nono daw gitu ni sila.
Jinasar. Era kawai tingin na daw gitu. Dari na ukito may bedil si mga man kurus. Era na rugby club. Sa wini takabaro na probitara binabango nang gitu kana club game way of college. Meron nga na bibaruay na biyakay nang garabit na daw gitu. Era nang lalay. Nondra nabika membrata nondra gitu. Iyo Robina katala merme duru mana duru na merme na kena level todo. Sara mai da kamu tunggu. Na matini madamo. Itu sarap-sarap na kung na yung bagi ba, yung bagi lima ya. May lang kung na yung bagi walu, le ato na yung bagi chinikaba. Ito ni sarap na kaya na kweta kay Cornibuli.
Ani le sarap na super friend.
Sa le la ko sarap na super rugby. Siyang nga nila katumbi ka na ATM kapilo maya. Yun na...
Ersari de kirsar nga nakirita.
Iyo. Ersari ni singgah marau talaga. Renindo chik nga na iwale-wale ni kaya da ka chik. May daki, may baru tumisum.
Bimbi kito kayo ni nakarabuli to kayo nera?
Iyo. Iyo. Sangki berapa madala chik na nalipan sini club. Niwir na coaches kaya ko orang tiya chik kami. Do che pa se tol lamada orang do la kondo na klinik lai. Liba madala bira na nonra union.
Nakangge me daki.
Iyo, misawa si sumay. Cara lifestyle may. Lo rich kumi daki na lenga na lima na mbak na ba mbak na mbak ichi ko na rich tu. Na lenga sa lo rich kumi sangi la ko sumay. Sarami ba bina kata sar chibu na nararani batabuli. Bitumbir bira na ngone biya kai.
So our club, we named our club the Lions Ruggers 26 because we are going to be representing the school in the under 18 grade in the year 2026. Yes.
Not an easy task?
Not an easy task. It has been a very challenging journey, but we have managed to continue to pull our parents together and be able to come, confirm and also finally be here during these 2 weeks holidays. We started this journey last year around September when we decided that yes, this is something that we all wanted, and we started the preparations back then.
All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Let me say this is
Another lion on the streets, amigo rider. Notorious sound from the seaside. Trena bubumba si matadiri no mo style. Pasi mana we gon' take it pretty wild. The great courts general, making it so edible. Chew it up and spit it out, then put it on a pedestal. With the hot boom, higher than the moon. Got the squad all vibing to the tune. Step aside, Sarah for the blue and yellow. Boys getting taller, ladies staying mellow. They don't know, Nito na ra. Flags in the air, shoes.
Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. Let me say this is grammar.
All my life it's been grammar tunga. When it comes to competition, kwasarangaya. Everybody chase when the line set the pace. Break so many records, we about to cop a case. Bright colors, coats, gray in the place. Super grammar champs, holla boom my yeah. We did the damage in the dance. No competition, cause nobody stand a chance. Make way for the overdue champs. Slide ones here to make a stand with the camp. Whole squad fully amped. Super grammar tunga, tunga. How we chat.
All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. Let me say this is grammar.
We were told that Auckland Grammar is one of the best schools that display rugby talent, and so for us to be able to play against them on the day, despite the cold, I should say, it was freezing that day.
And they're playing on the turf?
Yes, and we were playing on the turf. So that's something that's totally new to the boys. We're just, they are very used to the normal ground, but to play on an artificial turf was new to them. and the weather was freezing cold that day. Even when we arrived there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was so windy and the boys were so cold. They even did their warm-up inside their change rooms just to try to avoid being out in the cold. And here in Auckland, as soon as the sun disappears, it's so freaking cold. And so kudos to the boys that day. Despite the cold and despite rubbing their hands during the game, they managed to score. I think they scored two tries that day against Auckland Grammar. And to us, that's a big achievement considering that we are playing against the second 15s. And they are one of the top rugby schools here in New Zealand.
Dunia ron nonton gitu. Kay Auckland Grammar, kay Sacred Heart. Nakana takosubi makawono na lainnya. Robi Auckland Grammar, vavi Sacred Heart. Na numudu pick and drive on tiko. Saga ito na score na numudu wing. Hindi pa madalaman na balatan na numuni tiba ka chukbir na baka namin kita. Ni sa vitara bicho ko may na tali ni bibis kaya nakukomisa ng dua. Merto sa sangating na.
Na rage na ni so kanji kana kila ndau zara kwa vitu birtu zake. Kung na vitu birtu nuntu high performance unit nuntu na Fiji rugby. Kila wala na near league to na chiminiwis. Doon na nuntu sangi may wali uni mengi to bat kini sila na set pieces na scrum na line. Doon na puno ya kito sambo sa nga sarami kito yain takamay.
All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. Let me say this is grammar.
Another lion on the streets, amigo rider. Notorious sound from the seaside. Trena bukumbashi bakadiri no style. Pasi maina mana, we gon' take it pretty wild. The great course general, making it so edible. See what's up and spit it out, then put it on a pedestal. Make the happy boom, higher than the moon. Got the squad all vibing to the tune. Step aside, Sarah for the blue and yellow. Boys getting hype while the ladies staying mellow. They don't know, Nito na rara. Flags in the air, super grammar tunga.
Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar.
All my life it's been grammar tunga. When it comes to competition, everybody chase when the line set the pace. Break so many records, we about to cop a case. Bright colors, coats, gray in the place. Super grammar champs, all a boom, we do the damage in the dance. No competition, cause nobody stand a chance. Make way for the overdue chance. Slide lines here to make a stand with the camera. Whole squad fully on. Super grammar tunga, how we chat.
All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is.
And I think it was because of the cold. That day when we went to Auckland Grammar, it was cold, and we were told that that was the coldest day of the week. And the boys were really struggling with the cold.
Ito ngango na tumbu-tumbu, kita ngwalewat ko may kerto na under 16 ni Super Grammar School. Erto may ngito wabo kingango yo kalandi sa may dava ruan ngito. May katoling ngito tiko niku ay Sacred Heart College. Merto na sota tiko batake na timini second 15 na Sacred Heart College. Saya wara kitingo, saya baka na buling ko ay Sacred Heart College, may suka maya. Mengge may baydor tingnan gito ni rota na vana kaloko. To na dorobo, to na delenti miser to tiko na lomani change room, or to babaro mekina. Kaito na marama, kaito sa batang-batasar nga balebu, kaito mendanda bitungo pinamata ni singa. Kaito may bakata singa tu. May warak ito nga na ang gito na panakalok, may kito ng gaito sa yani, nararasa risando ya. Ground number 3 mbeka. Ono pa ando to nararani gito rakabi nara kurbulingo. Tale roto na kan rarani soka kurbuli lebu. Na swimming pool rua pira tal tu to lumbeka seba. Yo ketos may wara kerto tunga na dorbongo may bakata singa tu pati nararanggo di lebu nakatikin na singa. Ito sa pananan TV, tina kata-kata ni singa na lebu ni bata-bata. Nano kito watu may Auckland Grama na bata-bata ni Bunoya. Orto mandana doro orto ngito tiko. To saba kilati ko ng bata-bata nangonir to ngito kina. Saba kay nuno na lingan rto nangoning gito. Do na experience pinakaverto na doro. Perto me expose ta kinang gitarra kapag kinabuno lebong go kalandi. Merto rere kina lebu tal tu na opportunity se tu na buno lebong go kalandi.
All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Hey, grammar. All my life it's been grammar. Every day it is grammar. Let me say this is grammar. Hey, grammar. Grammar. Let me say this is grammar.
Another lion on the streets, amigo rider. Notorious sound from the seaside. Trena mo kumbashi makadiri no mo style. Basi mana we gon' take it pretty wild. The great courts general, making it so edible. Chew it up and spit it out, then put it on a pedestal. With the hot boom, higher than the moon. Got the squad all vibing to the tune. Step aside, Sarah for the blue and yellow. Boys getting hype while the ladies staying mellow. They don't know, Nito na rara. Flags in the air, super grandma tunga.
Grandma tunga. All my life it's been grandma tunga. Every day it is grandma tunga. Let me say this is grandma tunga. Hey, grandma tunga. All my life it's been grandma tunga. Every day it is grandma tunga. Let me say this is grandma tunga. Hey, grandma tunga. Grandma tunga. Grandma tunga. Let me say this is grandma tunga.
All my life it's been grandma tunga. When it comes to competition, sarangaya. Everybody chase when the line set the pace. So many records we about to cop a case.
Let's just keep the storms about here. Keep the tackles down. But you know, when we get tired, we have loose arms because we're not thinking. Use your legs, crouch down, get in position to tackle. Because I don't want to have to go to my pocket because it's a good occasion. So let's be disciplined and you know the old offside line, don't rush out of line. All that stuff, flankers stay on. I'll communicate clearly. If I say last feet, take a step, you need to take a step. So I'll keep the game open and flowing, which is really important because we want to play advantage. If they knock it on, by all means play advantage. Don't stop and look at me and I'll tell them the same. So we just keep the game flowing, all right? Does that suit you guys? And in the break and play, he'll come and talk to me. The simple reason is, he's your leader, you follow him, he'll communicate with me at the appropriate time, all right? All right, then that's nice and clear. Anything else you want to ask me?
Can we just do the kick off by 5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I won't hold you up.
Are you going to go in before the game?
We've had since today 2 games. We're playing our 3rd game today against Sacred Heart College, and we understand that they will be playing the second 15. We've also played second 15 teams for Massey High School as well as for Auckland Grammar. And whilst we did not come away with a win in our second game with Auckland Grammar, I think the experience in playing with New Zealand high school teams at this early age would be an experience that personally I believe the boys would take away a lot from their rugby experiences here in New Zealand on tour. But I think if they should go into professional rugby, this would be an experience that really is a beginning to all of that. We're also looking forward to getting back home, and it is because as soon as we arrive back home, school starts, and when school starts in the second term, our sons will also be beginning their rugby season. So this really is a timely lead up or lead into the new season for this year, and so we're here having a wonderful time, a wonderful experience in life, not only for the boys, but for all of us mothers. This really is the first time we're traveling with our sons on tour overseas, and just experiencing the cold weather. The sun is out at the moment, but it's still chilly. And as mothers, when we're running up along the sideline cheering our sons, we're also acknowledging how cold they could be feeling on the field. But we know that it's a lifetime experience for them. So again, looking forward to today's game. I'd also like to acknowledge the support that we've had from friends and family that have come to visit the boys and the team, and also supporters at the grounds when our boys run on.
May vida bol na session na bati kito na turang na high performance unit manager may bicho mas pabila mengantol na nung baseball tanga kira sinya nakana sangit searching may wali ana scrum
di sini ko to kunum do scrum
rakin da la tagay kina scrum may la kana so kito sa paparog na tatong may baka kina line out minarawannya sanang gailera orto na piken go ko da katsikunya
vida no to polo do boto ko to kana
iyo vida na polo kito boto ko da iyo sa bimbi sana kana tege bunan kito gali avni lomya everything should take care of itself ra do to kunai ke bakasa don chingana kan da ko chingani wa benar na gobernador bo ni rasa tombo kasar chumai samai bayador sar ni sul kito sinimbu bayador mi balu bibit may bayador sar ni sul jadi sarang ke
ukilan sar baga mi ke sar soto to botir nang ni ke
iyo sar ta ka daro
bia barita ka talngero so nakasabu
iyo ke bakana ta ka daro ka kreatif ke bakana ta ka bani baga Italia siang baru temen Dendeli baru naspa ya kana ta ka ya ta ko so bilang lain sekali tulis
in this heat we're having trophies for dinner. OBOG, you're a winner. Baby hating from a distance like a sinner. Turn that diva into believer, even better. Have been marching into Judah like grandma. All my life it's been grandma. Every day it is grandma. Let me say this is grandma. Hey, grandma. All my life it's been grandma. Every day it is grandma. Let me say this is grandma. Hey, grandma. Let me say this is grandma.
Another lion on the streets, amigo rider. Notorious sound from the seaside. Trade abo kumbashi wakadiri no style. Basi mana we gon' take it pretty wild. The great courts general making it so edible. Chew it up and spit it out, then put it on a pedestal. The hot boom, higher than the moon. Got the squad all vibing to the tune. Step aside, Sarah for the blue and yellow. Boys getting hype while the ladies staying mellow. They don't know, don't rah. Flags in the air, super grandma tunga.
Grandma. All my life it's been grandma. Every day it is grandma. Let me say this is grandma. Hey, grandma. All my life it's been grandma. Every day it is grandma. Let me say this is grandma. Hey, grandma. Let me say this is grandma.
All my life it's been grandma tunga. When it comes to competition, sarangaya. Everybody chase when the line set the pace. Break so many records, we about to cop a case. Bright colors, coats, gray in the place. Super grandma champs, holla boom, yeah. we do the damage in the dance. No competition, cause nobody stand a chance. Make way for the overdue champs. Slide ons here to make a stand with the camp. Whole squad fully amped. Super grandma tunga, tungi, tunga. How we chat.
Grandma tunga. All my life it's been grandma tunga. Every day it is grandma tunga. Let me say this is grandma tunga, tungi, tunga. Hey, grandma tunga. All my life it's been grandma tunga. Every day it is grandma tunga. Let me say this is grandma tunga, tungi, tunga. Hey, grandma tunga. Grandma tunga. Grandma tunga. Let me say this is grandma tunga, tungi, tunga.
Ese ko ngore na leo nitakitaki may vikito na numuni doni bengaravi na VOQA KEI VITI AOTEAROA mai na raki o kalandi ena nondangona bata mai na ONO kina WALU ena rua na tabata nini tu live stream kanu itaki ni ko ni asema itiko mekina ena ni tu ndroni papa ni mona libi ni bola mata na Facebook kabaka kina ena ni tu YouTube channel bina sarvaleu na numuni abaro rongo kabaka tundelinga itiko mai kasara itiko mai ni itaki ni ko ni maruta kana bika oni ambulongo dito kini mai vikito kita sara na numuni doni bengaravi Keto bimbulong dito kaya ni may naraki o kalandi bulo amalay ni linga lebuleg junior tamani yaw na numani tamata bisolo merambo menon tapata na maraw kinabiba kalungan tataki kinabagdingo ni mo ni madawa sa to matanda ni mo tamanta
Kawangu ile davi Ngauna koya Yunanu malesu Tuimo siti nyau Ile dayaki Nanonggungula Imbikai erangali Toluna yang batu Aking lo matu Nomu bosa beila May watinuna Beile dayaki Nanonggula Imbikai erangali Merece ini oleh suma ini kaborotu angan nebiko sana mulewa oleh suma unggatu narosi hello my lambas matamu seini tanule dava belum mabei karuba buat kamau mode isa lagu hitam merece ini oleh semua ini kaborotu angan nebiko sana gulewa oleh semua merece ini oleh semua ini kaborotu angan nebiko